Hello, this is Andrew, otherwise known as Firewolf34 on the server, and I am going to show you all how to install Mumble, which is the newest and possibly greatest thing we've installed on our server since it started. What Mumble is an open source voice over IP application that allows you to talk over the internet. And I know that's revolutionary, talking over the internet, completely insane. But it is great because if you don't know what open source means, it means it's free, and that is always awesome. So I'm going to show you how to install this. I'm on a Mac, but it works the same for Windows. Close that. Basically, the installation is not very different. If you're on a Windows, you will have to go through an installer. If you're on a Mac, only thing you have to do is copy it. If you're on a Linux, it's going to be a lot more complicated because I do not believe they give you a binary. I think there is a couple binaries out available for it, but if you're on a Linux, you should know how. Just because you're on a Linux, you're obviously somewhat good with computers because it does take a little effort to get Linux running on your computer. So I expect you know how to compile source code, um, and if you do, that's great. It shouldn't be that hard for you. If you don't, you can figure it out. Look up a tutorial or something. I know they do have client software for Linux, so it shouldn't be that hard for you to get. Basically, to find the installer, you have to get to their website. Just search for Mumble, as you can see, for search right there. I recently searched for Mumble, so Mumble, Google it, and you get brought to Google. Obviously, that's why we Googled it. And the first link is what you need. Click that, and you'll be brought to the SourceForge site, which is an open source distribution website. They support all three flavors, Windows, OS X, and Linux, but the link you see here for Linux, if you are using Linux, do not use this link because this is for a server. Basically what this will do is it will install Murmur, which is the sidekick to Mumble, which basically is the server side, not the client side application. So if you're going to get Linux, download the source code or go to the Git repository and download that. Um, don't use this version because this is for the server. Um, at least that's the one I use for the server. So obviously, if you can figure out how to use that client side, um, good luck. I do know that if you're using Ubuntu or CentOS or something along those lines, you can just simply, at least this is what I did for an Ubuntu flavor when I was downloading the server. You do sudo apt get install, and then it is just Mumble. So they have a binary out there. But anyways, back on topic. Because I know most of you guys are going to be using Windows and OS X, or probably mostly Windows actually, because I know the people that have OS X on the server already have this. So this is for you Windows guys. To download it, you would click on the 123 stable. It'd bring you this site right here, which is SourceForge, and you save the file. And after you save the file, it will begin to download. The download will download an MSI file. The MSI file is an installer. If you follow the instructions, all you have to do is open up the MSI file, follow the instructions to install the software, and you're good to go. It does not take a lot of effort, and it's in plain old English. So just read the instructions. Don't skip over anything. You don't really have to read through the licensing agreement and all that shit, but just read what they tell you to read and do what they tell you to do, and you'll get through it in like a minute. It's really simple. So now I'm going to show you guys how to actually use the software and run you through both the audio and certificate wizard. So on to Mumble. Okay, so Mumble, once you get everything going, you'll get this file. This is Mumble. I believe it installs a shortcut on your desktop if you're using Windows. If you're using Mac, all you have to do is copy it over into your applications folder, and you'll have Mumble there. But this is Mumble. Basically, when you start Mumble for the first time, you'll be put through the audio wizard. The audio wizard is very simple. All you have to do is follow the instructions here. Now I'm going to tell you a couple personal things for our server. Server requires you to have your positional audio off, and that is required mainly because if you don't have your positional audio off, there's been some issues with you being able to hear other people's talk. It says that it doesn't have these issues, but something's going on. Maybe it's just my fault. I don't know. Regardless, keep positional audio off. What positional audio is it allows it so that, like, let's say you're playing a game like Counter-Strike, Source, or something like that, something that's more widely accepted, then you can actually hear players around you. Like, let's say if you're in your Mumble channel and they're to the right of you, then you will hear them to the right of you in your headphones, which is nice, but it doesn't work with Minecraft, so might as well keep it off. Um, Core audio and default device and all this, all you have to do is make sure these are set to what they suggested to, or if you want to customize it yourself, put your input device as your microphone and your output device as your speakers or headphones, and keep echo cancellation on if you have the chance to. I don't because I'm using default devices, so that way I automatically detect my software. But if you're using headphones or something and it allows you to actually use echo cancellation, do use it because it makes talking to people a lot more easy. You shouldn't have echo as long as you have headphones on while you are using the application, because otherwise the speakers will play into your microphone and it will cause this massive loop of death, and no one likes it. It pisses everyone off. So get headphones, use the headphones. You don't necessarily need a headset. You don't have to go out and buy a headset. Just get Apple headphones that come with your iPod. That works fine. Plug it into your computer and use those. Don't use your speakers, because if you have headphones, then you don't have to worry about echo. Anyways, moving on. You should be able to hear yourself, by the way. When you're on the device selection page, you should be able to hear yourself. It's going to play through your speakers. That way you know your microphone's working. What device tuning is, you have to keep this at the lowest possible setting so that you don't have to worry about your hardware buffer making the audio take longer to get to players. So keep it at the lowest you possibly can. Basically what this says is it's going to take it 10 milliseconds to go through your audio card buffer. If you keep it higher, then you're going to have slower audio. But if you have a modern audio card, you should be able to have it at around 10 or 20. Basically, if you keep it as low as you can so that the voice that's playing in the background here, you don't hear any interruptions or jitter in the sound. Read this, don't just go off me, read this, and you should be able to understand what you're doing. Volume tuning. Now I am moving fast through this, mainly because there's a lot of shit we have to go through, and I'm just trying to get through this. Volume tuning. Make sure when you talk, it stays in the green. If you're talking softly, keep it in the green. If you're yelling, then it should be maybe around here. Don't go on the red. Don't go on the blue. It should only be in the blue when you're not talking. Yeah, so that should work fine for you. Moving on, voice activity detection. Voice activity detection is awesome, mainly because you don't have to push a button to talk, and you don't have to worry about having to open up a window and hearing every noise that's going on in the background. What it does is when these lips are red right here, that means it's going to transmit. When they're off, then it's not going to transmit. I have mine tuned to my voice, so when I talk, it will transmit. If I don't talk, it won't transmit. Raw amplitude from input, the difference from that is, from signal to noise ratio, is it actually goes by the volume of the sound in the room, and signal to noise goes by a more complex algorithm of detecting the sound. I prefer raw amplitude. That's the one I suggest. Signal to noise works too. It's up to you. Raw amplitude is probably simpler, so I would just go with that. Basically, when you're not talking, it should be in the red. When you are talking, it should be in the green, and occasionally it might go into the yellow when you're talking. That's fine. It's still going to transmit through that. So just make sure it hits the green when you're talking. But make sure you have it. This is a very important thing. When you're clicking the mouse, like if you're using Minecraft, you're going to be clicking a lot. It's a pain in the ass to hear you guys clicking, because then it turns on the transmit using the voice activity detection. And the only thing people hear is you clicking every 5 seconds. And Mumble has this wonderful feature that makes all the voices equal volume. So when you're clicking, it raises the volume of the click because it thinks you're speaking, and it just pisses everyone off. It's a great feature as long as I don't hear you clicking. So when you're testing this, don't talk for a second, as I'm going to do right here, And watch the way my clicks do in the red here. The lips don't turn red because I have calibrated mine so that it doesn't actually activate the voice activity. Make sure when you click, it doesn't play through. It's a pain in the ass for everyone. Same goes for typing. You shouldn't have a problem with typing though, as long as you don't have the loudest ass keyboard in the world. Quality notifications. Keep it at balanced. That's recommended. I don't allow 72 kilobits a second, so just keep it at balanced. Text to speech is a wonderful thing. Just use that. You don't need it, but it's up to you. Read all this. And then you're done. So this finishes the audio wizard. Okay, so now onto the certificate wizard. To connect to our server, you need to have a certificate. We do not use passwords. You need to have a certificate. It's required. Use the automatic certificate creation. It's not as secure as importing one off the internet. If you do already have one that you made on the internet that you may have paid for or something, use that. Otherwise, just use automatic certificate creation. It will guide you through the steps. It's really easy to do. Follow the instructions. You're set. I have one that I made off the internet. As you can see, AAA certificate services, and I have an expiry date and all that. Use the automatic certificate creation if you don't have this. But yeah, it's very simple. Basically what it says is you type in your name and email, and you know, it guides you through it. It's very easy. But yeah, then all you have to do is click on this, click Add New. Now, once you click Add New, it's going to bring up a dialog box. God damn it. There you go. A little slow there. Well, to be fair, I have a ton of applications open. But, yeah, just type in the name of the server, which is 5134_server. The address would be the IP. I'm not going to type it in for security reasons. I don't want this on the video. It's on YouTube, so everyone can see it. But type in the IP for the port. Just keep it the same. It's 64738. Username has to be the exact same username. Exact same, no misspellings, same capitalization as the one you use on Minecraft. Mainly because I'm going to be searching for your name and it is case sensitive. Then you just press connect and it connects you. It's not that hard. Once you're on and I'm on with you, we can register you. It's very simple. I'll show you connection right now. Boom, connected, welcome message. And I will put up another video in a couple seconds that will show you how to actually configure it more in depth. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I'm Firewolf34, and this is how to use Mumble.